Back again. Back again.
Hey.
Good morning, everybody. It's us again. Shells and shells, however you want to put it. It's
Shills
coffee
and
morning
shills. This is what you
laughter.
did. No. Shell and shills. Shills and shell.
That's what I just said.
That's not what you said. This is what you did last time. It's not. You said shills and shills.
You know what? No, I must speak really fast. Yeah. Because I don't think I'm going to repeat my own name. Shells and shells. Shells and shells. I speak really
Okay.
fast, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you do. Okay.
maybe I don't know. Maybe because you've got baggage at home, that you can't hear me.
Chiller.
Anyway,
This baggage,
we're
they're
back.
your godchildren, remember? So,
I know they're all my god kids, isn't
yeah,
it? So
keep on talking like that.
I'm also carrying them
Yeah,
on
exactly.
my back.
Come and carry your own load. Come and carry your own baggage, please,
Honestly,
for a month.
honestly, oh, I will. I will. I really will. I'm going to take all of them. Yeah. No, but literally, CML, we're back this morning. How are you today, Shell?
I'm all right. The weather is looking real good. Obviously, we've got plans this weekend on a social level.
I know.
I'm
You're
actually very
seeing me twice
excited.
this weekend.
I know, right? I know. So I'm really excited.
Excited.
Yeah.
Are you excited or
No,
excited?
my nationality, as we will find out by the end of this podcast, will tell me I am excited. Okay, with a double G. Excited.
Excited.
Yes.
So we're back and here we go. So guys, we're back this weekend and I didn't know we were going to come back to this topic so soon. If you know me well. This is not really my favourite topic.
Because you don't like
if you've been
us.
following this podcast, yeah, since we started, for the last like 30 odd whatever episodes that we have, or 29 whatever they are, you would have picked up my feelings about race and blah 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 blah. Yeah. But this week has brought me to my knees. Michelle, tell the people where we're going today.
Oh, right. So, for those of us that are not in England, obviously last weekend we had the Euros final, which is a big football competition consisting of a lot of European countries, the countries in Europe, the best football teams. So the final was last weekend, of which England played against Italy. This was, the build up to this was amazing, considering that England have actually, the football team have never been in the Euros final. We've never made it to the Euros final at all, ever. The last actual football final we made it to was in the World Cup in 1966. So that literally is the year that my mum was born. So that's the last final that we've been in, which England won.
It came home.
Yeah, basically it came home, and we're still waiting for it to come home. But during the match last weekend, it got down to the full 90 minutes. The score was 1-1. Italy as well, they had been the hot favourites to win. And England, I'll be honest, normally they let us down. Yeah, it comes eventually. But, we were not expected to get to the finals, but we did. Either way, we did. We scored early. Everyone literally thought it was coming home. Everyone was rooting for England. Probably not the rest of Europe, but all of England was rooting for England, yeah? We get to 1-1, we do the full 90 minutes.
Passport holders, non-passport holders.
All of us. We get 1-1, 90 minutes, so we go into extra time. Extra time, 15 minutes, no goals. Extra 15 minutes, no goals. We then do the dreaded penalties. So basically, it's the first to 5, and whoever wins the Euros.
Best out of 5, isn't it?
Yeah, best out of 5. So basically how it ended was that 2 of the penalties were saved by the English goalkeeper, but 3 were saved by the Italian goalkeeper, or the post. The 3 penalty takers, the 3 English penalty takers, were all basically black players. Marcus.
The ones that missed.
The ones that missed. Marcus Rashford, Sacco,
Starling,
and no,
Saka.
not Saka. Sorry, Saka, Rashford, and Sancho. So basically, they missed, and England, we didn't win. We came second. Literally, within maybe an hour, half an hour, because I was on the socials as I do. Yeah, the racist abuse came in thick and fast. Like literally, on their Instagram, Twitter, it was everywhere. There were videos circulating. There were monkey emojis, just videos, just basically just using the words, the N words. It was just the most vile
thing I've
language.
seen.
Yeah.
I feel like this was the most racism I have seen in my lifetime.
In this country, in England, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in England, direct. Yeah. So I always say this about England, that when we compare English racism to American racism, in America the racism is very explicit. You see it, it's there. I don't like you. Blah, blah, blah. But in England, they're nice about it. It's covert. Yeah, it's covert. It's like undercover, like little. Oh, your hair looks a bit different.
Oh, yeah, you're a bit light for that country.
Yeah. Where you really
speak
from?
Good English.
Yeah. Where you really from? Yeah. What's your real name? So the polite racism. God.
No offense, guys. I'm with you. Come on.
No, she's not, but I am. Don't worry, guys. I'll keep her in check. So yeah, but it just like, oh man, it was a lot. For those of us.
So, in a nutshell, what you're saying is, it went to Rome. Many of us got told to go home.
Basically, it went to Rome, and then we got told to go home.
We got told to go home.
We got them to Rome. Literally, the black English players played a major part in England getting that far. Yeah, and that is the truth. But we got there. We let them down. They were telling us to pack our load and go.
There should have been a poster saying, "If it goes to Rome, you're all going home."
Yeah, if you don't bring it home, you should go home.
Yeah. Engineered by Priti Patel.
Oh, God, don't get me started. Priti Patel.
There's so much things that have been in the papers, but I think you said before that you was conflicted. I mean, for you, I've got questions for you. And I went through a group chat because I had to. You was an easy target.
I know. I didn't even see you until the next morning. I just ignored you.
Michelle.
Come on, give it to them.
Listeners, Michelle, we've got a group chat that we're in, and I wasn't really hearing from Michelle, and everybody knows that Michelle's household is, people know.
Central. Yeah.
It's football central, and Michelle was the only in the house living. So I was. Yeah.
You're an idiot. The only in the house. Now, you can say it. Yeah.
So now I was like, is Michelle all right? Yeah. Because I'm reading things that.
What do you think? Dan's going to attack me? Blame me.
Bro, yeah.
You're an idiot.
I was like, I'm going to check on my friends. Yeah. I'm texting Michelle. Phone's going to voicemail. I'm thinking,
because it's on do not disturb. I sleep. I have a 6-month-old baby that doesn't let me sleep.
I was like, I legit. First of all, I was just making jokes, and I said to one of our other friends, I said, you know what? Yeah, I haven't really heard from Michelle. What if it's got so peak that
it was 20 past
in the
12.
Village?
There was a missed call at 20 past 12.
Yeah, because I had to check on you. So you didn't want me to check on you. When I was reading things on Facebook or on Instagram, people saying that there's this thing that's gone out. If you see a black person, 10 points if you spit on them. 10
chuck them in the road.
You're in a prime location. Yeah. You're in a prime location to be abusing all these.
I'm really not, guys. Ignore Sheila. I'm not the only black in this village. There's a few of us. Okay?
In the house. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, but I thought about you either way. Yeah. I thought about your safety. Yeah.
I saw.
You should be thankful for a friend like me.
I am.
Yeah. No, but away from the jokes, and you know what? Yeah, I try to make light-hearted of something that's so serious, so that people don't come away from the podcast feeling angry or aggravated. For me, I had a bit of a different journey with this football thing. Yeah, I was enjoying it, but I was a little bit angry at some things before we even got to the final. And I was a bit triggered, and I never really get triggered about these issues. So it sat heavily upon me. My thing was, I think it was Starling. He's been playing so well,
Sterling.
and I felt like he carried the team. And everybody's played for the team. Yeah, Kane, you name it. I don't really care about the black and white parts of it. Yeah, if you're black, if you're white, if you know me well, I don't really look into that stuff. And that's not to say I don't see colour, because I don't want people to misquote me and say you're one of those people that says I don't see colour. I do see it. It does exist. Colourism and all that stuff is real. But I just felt like this young black boy had played so well. And, I know a lot of white people that had recognised the way he was playing, and had given him his props all the way. But the media, the social media, before we got to Sunday, had already made it a race ticket.
Not the social media, the national media, like the newspapers.
National media, the newspapers, They had already kind of like started a bit of a race route, or igniting some kind of fire to start division, because it was quite irritating if Sterling would score a goal that would excel the football team. Then the next day on the newspaper, you've got Mr. Kane, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
I'm not
Kane.
taking anything away from. I'm not taking anything away from Harry. Yeah, bless him. It's not his fault because he doesn't control the papers. Do you know what I mean?
So just to say, Harry Kane is the captain, but to be fair, he massively underperformed in this tournament. Yeah, and Raheem Sterling.
He scored like 1 or 2 goals. Yeah,
he scored 2. Yeah, but they were all set up by Raheem Sterling.
Exactly. So Raheem's work. Yeah, Raheem's worked. He's worked for this team throughout, and every single paper would exalt Harry Kane.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on, man. Yeah,
there was no acknowledgement of the work that Raheem put in, none at all.
Yeah, and that was bad, and that was started up by the national media. Yeah, then I was speaking to somebody, and I said to somebody, where the bloody hell was the Voice UK gone? That newspaper that we used to when we were kids. Yeah. You're right. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because that was the only newspaper that used to represent us. If I'm being really honest, because everything else that was coming out in the paper was just not standard. I know somebody out there is going to say, "Oh, what do you expect?" Yeah, it's them people, them's country. Yeah, I understand that, but when somebody is representing a country, let it be represented fully.
Exactly.
Yeah? And let the truth
team
be reflected.
If you look at the English team, out of the 11 players, I'm gonna say between 7 and 8 are all either have a different ethnicity in them. Yeah, they're either mixed race or black. Yeah, that's out of 8, at least maybe 7 or 8 out of the 11 players. So if you took away all those ethnicities, you wouldn't have no national team, or it wouldn't be the standard that it is today, which is actually really good. Yeah,
this is the best team they've had in a long time, and you know what? Yeah. Shout out to is it Gary? What's his name?
Southgate, so the manager, Gary Southgate.
The manager. I don't know whether it's because like he has been through the whole system before, and he had a lot to offer. People have criticised him, saying that he shouldn't have put these young boys on the field like that, because I think Saka and Sanchez came in at the last minute. Rashford. Rashford. They came in a lot in the final minute. Yeah, and then they went to take penalties, and it was just like you shouldn't have done that. Yeah, but I don't know what his thinking was, because I'm not a football expert. You watch more football than I do.
Yeah, so. The reality is, he's explained it. He doesn't have to explain it anyway, because his tactics up until that point have been spot on. Yeah, a lot of people have questioned a lot of the decisions that he'd made, but he'd done it his way. He didn't have any peer pressure from anyone, and that's why we all love him. Yes, people are saying that maybe Marcus Rashford, his legs weren't warmed up, but Rashford explained today that, this week, that everybody had been asked if they were up for a penalty. Everybody had been asked, and all the players had said yes, 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 no, whatever. The people that were there had chosen to be there. Yeah, some people were saying, well, how come some of the people that were on the pitch longer? So Grealish and oh god, there was someone else, I can't remember his name, but Grealish was at least at least Grealish, yeah, and I love him. But they were saying, well, why wasn't he put forward?
I love that Philip guy. Oh god, he's fit.
Which one?
Got a ponytail, Philip.
Yeah, the mixed race guy.
Yeah. Oh, is it mixed race? Yeah, always fit.
Yeah, he's all right.
Whatever race he is, that's the race I want to be.
No, it's not, Sheila. God's sake.
He's a
poor guy.
He is.
These guys are so young. It's terrible. God.
But
anyways, I think a lot was said about tactics, but the reality is, Southgate is a lovely guy. He knew what he was doing. Yes, it kind of came short at the end, but again, that had nothing to do with race. People are saying, oh, maybe he shouldn't have let the black players know because, the black players take the penalties. Why not? So because they're black, they then should take a penalty?
This is what I was saying to certain people, I had this debate with some black people that were like, he set them up for failure.
Oh, get out of here.
He put them out to hang.
And then if he had told them they couldn't take it, what would have been said? It's racist, he's not letting the black players take penalties.
It's not, exactly. It's just
yeah.
I feel like the offence to some people became so high. But what I feel like was highlighted, was the level of racism, that still sits within. Do you know what I mean? And it was kind of like, we went back to the whole, and I know there were memes that were going around to say, oh, now that they've not won, black lives no longer matter again. And when they first won the other game, the first games they were winning, there was that meme that came out of that of a white man with his head up saying, oh crap, black lives do matter after all. So then that narrative again changed to be like, oh, black lives don't matter again. Back to it. And the things that you read on Twitter, the things that you saw on social media were disgusting. And then I think what's happened is where I think it was one of the Neville brothers. I don't want to say the wrong
Gary
one.
Neville.
I think it was.
Yeah,
I think it was who had said something to say, why wouldn't the nation behave the way they behave, or some of these thugs, when the leaders behave the way they behave?
Yeah, he's right. So he's called out Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister, Priti Patel. I think I don't know, she's a Home Secretary now, about some of the racist comments they've made. Like when she's telling people that it's okay. So in the beginning, when they were taking the knee to show their support of Black Lives Matter, the first couple of matches they were booed. Literally, the players were booed, and then Priti Patel was saying, something gesture,
politics
gesture,
a politics gesture, that it shouldn't be done. I don't get involved in politics, and then now you want to come and be saying blah blah blah. People shouldn't be treated that way, but you are the one who fuels this behaviour.
You said to them that it's okay. She was basically saying it's okay for people to boo. That's what she basically said. It's okay for people to boo the Black Lives Matter protest. Black Lives Matter taking the knee. She said it's okay for the players to boo, but now she's trying to say, oh no, I condemn. Get out of here. I can't even stand there.
And Boris Johnson saying what he'd said, but Boris Johnson has been renowned to be a little bit racist here and there. He's the one who referred to black people as watermelons with teeth. Like, because we smile so well. Sorry. Yeah. And then...
Oh, God. Do you know what? I just think it's just really heavy. It's so heavy.
It's such a heavy topic, I think. Yeah. And then, he it's not even just... He's not just been like... racially abusive or insulting to black people. I remember once he referred to the Muslim ladies that wear the hijabs or as letterboxes.
Yeah.
It's just terrible,
I don't understand how we can have, the leader of this country.
Of the nation, that
is allowed to say these things.
I don't know how Sadiq feels about him when he sits in those meetings with him.
It's a madness. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't understand it. But the thing is that stood out to me is that there's been a lot of things that have come up. People have started to say things like, the three lions are from Africa. Yeah. And I don't want to make it a race row. That was a good one, yeah. That the three lions are from Africa, blah, blah, blah. So maybe you should put pigeons on the shirt then. Because pigeons are from London.
English, yeah. Or
So,
British, whatever.
yeah, British or English, whatever, Pie and mash, I don't know. And I think it's had such a...
You're an idiot. What's pie and mash got to do with it, Sheila? Someone come and collect your friend, man.
Is the English team eating a Ferrero and pounded yam? I don't know, yeah. I'm not sure if they're eating that. But what I'm saying is this, yeah. There's a guy in there, I forget his name, yeah. He's a Ghanaian, he's half Ghanaian, obviously half British, whatever, Black British, yeah. But he's actually changed his nationality back to just being Ghanaian.
Are you talking about the one that went to play? He was down to play for the English football team, but now he said he wants to play for the Ghanaian football team.
Yeah. If you're listening, you're good looking.
Single and available here, FYI.
Available, more than available. I'm ready to risk it all. Yeah, we don't have to be English. I'll give up the passport. Shoes. Like I said, guys, making light of a situation that's really heavy, but not taking away the heaviness and the seriousness of it. Yeah, but because sometimes if you don't laugh, you might get angry.
Literally, I struggled. When you said you wanted to talk about it, I was like, oh God, like literally, I haven't even wanted to talk about it. I've engaged minimally on social media
topic.
About this.
What was it like in your household?
It was fine. Well, Dan didn't come home until like 4:40 a.m. on Monday morning.
Because of football?
Yes, because of football. And he had work the next day. I said to him, that's the most irresponsible I've known him to be in the coming up to 11 years I've known him. Literally, on a work night, he's never been out that late. But, for him, it's just like, look, this is a once in a lifetime. Could be once in a lifetime. So he had fun. What day today? Saturday.
So if they had won, would he have come home on Tuesday?
Only God. I wasn't expecting him home for the week. I'm not going to lie. I was just like, okay. I couldn't watch the football. I didn't even want him in the house watching the football because he was so stressed, so anxious. Like he was like, get out, don't walk across the TV. You're breathing too loud. I'm like, let me be free in my own house. Get out, go and watch it somewhere else.
Where did he go?
He went to... Where did he go? Oh, he booked tickets in like a pub not too far from the house. Well, a bus ride away. And then they went to a different pub, and then they went to a friend's house, and then he got home at 4:40 a.m. Yeah, early hours of Monday morning. So he had a good night, despite the loss.
Well, at least they came home. At least they came home.
At least they came home.
At least they came home.
Yeah, but it was weird. One of the things he said. Obviously, it was only a couple of days later. I think it was only actually Friday that we spoke, about the whole stuff going on in the media. And obviously, me and Dan talk about race quite openly in the house, especially because of our boys and the older girl. But one of the things he said was about, could, and I know he said this very carefully, because I think he was trying not to upset me, but he was like, could it be that we're giving it too much attention, so therefore... we're kind of giving the trolls what they wanted. But then he also acknowledged that obviously it's a discussion that needs to be had because people cannot suffer in silence. Because I think I was saying that I've had enough. Everybody keeps saying they're condemning. I condemn you. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, you're telling me off. Oh, do I care? Like, if I'm a racist troll, what does that do for me? What does that do? Do you know what I love seeing? I'm not going to lie. This maternity leave I've enjoyed, yeah? When these people make their videos or these Twitter comments and they have their name, you go Google search, you find out where they work. You go there, you write a nice review, you write them. Do you accept racists where you come from? Is that what you employ? Is that what you need on the CV to work for your company? So a lot of the people that have come out and made all these Twitter comments or videos, one of the guys tried to say, he'd been hacked, his Twitter had been hacked or some nonsense like that. But, I'm loving the fact that black people and our allies, we're standing up to them. So we're letting them people know that actually you can't get away with this anymore. So these people are losing their jobs. Yeah, and I like it. I don't mind. Some guy, a plumbing company, that one that works, he owns his own business. So people went and wrote reviews. I went to go and write my own review. They said, they even Trustpilot. They said, oh, we understand that something's gone on and that people are writing reviews, but if you could please only write honest reviews. But if you want to be racist, let the world know. And then let them be the judge on if they want to work with a racist or not. Some people probably still will want to work with you, but some people may not. Let people know.
Yeah.
Show your colours, show your hand.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't experienced the racism of what other people, because I haven't seen it, and I haven't experienced it, but I saw in the papers that some black people had been thrown into the Thames. People have been. But I don't. The thing is that people's houses have been attacked, and I just. But has that actually happened?
I'm not gonna. What I will say about that, Shills, and I said it to you.
This is why I'm saying it. I don't know if it's happened. I haven't experienced it. But these are the things that I've read. Yeah,
on
or things
social media. These are things that are going around on social media.
Yeah, and I've seen them in the national paper being reported about how black people have been treated and why it's wrong, and this has to be addressed. I like how Prince Williams took his chance to just get in there quickly before Harry came along.
KMT times 1,000.
Yeah. we don't know who said it. We don't know who said what about Archie. We're still trying to find out. Yeah.
Let me stand for my nephew, man. Let me stand for my nephew.
We still want to know who was in that household talking about Archie's colour. Yeah.
Being black, innit?
Yeah, but I do like the fact that you lot came quick with your whatever statement.
Condemnation.
Yeah, so we're happy with that. 1 point. Harry, where were you? Hurry up. Yeah. But it's just one of those things for me where it's just like, if these things have happened, and we're living in the 21st century, and another human being could actually go and cause harm, physical harm, mental harm, emotional harm, to somebody else over a football, we've lost it.
Over a game.
A game that could go either way. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
A game that you yourself are not qualified. You people that are slobs that are doing X, Y, and Z that can't run for anything. And you're there, like the guys, that's what I said. Like, I wrote a small post, just a very small thing, that those 3 black boys that took penalties, Marcus Rashford especially, because he's had racist abuse before, he would have known what was at stake. He would have known that, do you know what, if I save this, if I make the goal, obviously I'm a hero. If I don't, I know what's coming. And he didn't say, I'm not going to do this. He said, I'm still going to do it. I'm willing to risk it. And we still just... But I don't know if you read about his... So he's got a picture in his home.
Yeah, the mural,
it was defaced. And
people keep talking about it being defaced, but I didn't see what was written on it.
No, they covered it up. They covered it up quick. But then it's been amazing to see all the people that, the love that have come up with letters, sticky notes. I watched an interview of a black man who took his 2 black boys from Birmingham to wherever it is to go and just say, look, Manchester, this is a moment in history. Like, come and see, come and look at come and see what's going on. So it has been really, really. The
irony
really
is,
good.
in the summer he was a hero because he was feeding most of these people's kids anyway.
Because the government, the white government, the white prime minister, to do it. He didn't want to feed them. He didn't want to feed his kids.
Even just that, itself, shows the level of intelligence or lack of intelligence, that a racist has. Because you're going to go for somebody that has actually kept food on the table during your hard time.
Your comrades. Even if it's not you, it's someone of one of your own people, the people, your land that you're trying to reclaim.
Has been fed, has been watered by this person, and now you want to go and ridicule them because they've missed a penalty in football. God help us so we don't go in a pandemic again. I would tell Marcus Rashford, yeah, please
don't feed anybody.
Don't
Let
feed
them
anybody.
starve.
I'll just say to him, listen, Peckham needs food.
You've done your own. Yeah, you've done your own. Yeah.
I'll be like, look, there's no need for all of this because you're not being appreciative. But I do want to bring home on this, yeah, and we always talk about mental health on this podcast because we stand by it, yeah. It was just like, I liked how, like, I'm not even going to say black people, I liked how people with common sense of all races, yeah, wrap their hands around these boys.
I'm telling you. Even the naughty newspaper that I hate, I can't stand, the SUN, I don't even like to say their name. Even they were like, oh, we stand with you, and they had their pictures. And I felt like it was maybe tokenistic, but
definitely tokenistic. Somewhere. I hate to say it,
but we have to start somewhere. If they hadn't have done anything, we would have complained. Yeah?
But I think they only did it because of nobody wants a repeat of last year.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a repeat of the Black Lives Matter movement. Yeah,
it's good.
Nobody wants a repeat of that. And you know what? Yeah, this whole incident, you know, it has caused black people to kind of like go backwards in their thought processes, yeah, and look at self again, and you know, have to rebuild themselves up and the value of self. And I think for me, it's again reinforced the fact of, and I say this all the time, yeah, if you're man-made, then man can break you. Yeah. So never depend on man to make you.
To establish you.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if these guys had taken in the fame, of whatever the glory that comes with being a footballer, that comes with being a celebrity, that's why I love that little Marcus Rashford, you know. Because he doesn't live that celebrity life like that. Yeah. He just lives a little normal day life, buying something for his mum.
I stand for my mum, that's it. I stand for my mum and my hometown, and that's it.
And and that's it. I don't know much about the other guys. I don't know much about Saka. He's only a 19-year-old boy. And Raheem, obviously, I know about his story, etc., etc. But it's kind of like they can't break you because they didn't make you.
That's it.
Do you know? Yeah, they didn't make you, and it's understanding that. I'm gonna say this, yeah. They don't always like you, yeah. Not everybody's always gonna like you, whether you're black, whether you're white. It's not a race thing, yeah. Some people will like you more than some people will not, yeah. But I think for me, it was just seeing the nation come along and just wrap their arms around these boys, and people really thinking about their mental health. What I loved was, and what I saw when Gareth hugged Saka.
Saka.
I didn't mind it. I watched the game with my friend. Yeah, I watched it with my brethren, and I was on the phone while we were watching it. And I said, I don't even know if she recognised that I said this. I said, he's all right. He's in good arms, because you know what? That man knows exactly what it feels like to miss that penalty. Yeah. That side of support he can have. Yeah. The rest of the support that he needed was, because you know what? Yeah. As soon as England lost, I was gonna go out to meet the rest of my friends. I didn't go out to watch the game with them. But as soon as they lost, I said to my friend that I was watching it with, so there's no point. Yeah. Blacks are the targets now. That was even my own feeling. I remember I've got loads of white friends. Yeah. But that was my own fear, to be like, I was just like, glad I didn't watch it in the pub with my white friends, because what would that look like? And it's not to say that my white friends are racist or anything, but imagine I'm secure in my relationships. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But imagine me as secure as I am, even I felt that heaviness. I was like, no, I'm not going out. I made a joke to one of my friends and I said, I'm running during daylight hours, bruv.
Do you know what it is? And this is what I think stressed me out, because I'll be honest with you, Sheila, I didn't think anything. I was pissed we lost. I was up with the 3 kids. Dan was nowhere to be seen. I just thought all these kids need to go to damn bed now. It was like close to 11 o'clock. Everybody needs to go to bed. I didn't even think of anything. It wasn't until I woke up the next morning and I went on the socials and I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, because
I wasn't in that bubble. And I think obviously the situation I'm in, like interracial relationship, I have lovely white friends. Yeah, Dan's friends, Dan's family, they're amazing. Yeah, they're allies. They get it. You know, we're able to have these open conversations about race, and you know, they're open to learning like just how it affects me and mine, and how it's going to affect my boys and my girl in the future. You understand? So I kind of feel like I live in this nice little bubble, and then incidents like this keep on coming in and just popping it and just reminding me, actually, I'm lucky. But will my kids have this kind of bubble when they're older? You understand? Like, it just keeps on reminding me. Like I said, I didn't think nothing. When going to bed, I didn't think nothing. I just thought, oh, what a bad game. I hate penalties. Because I hate, that's what I said to Liv as we were watching. I was telling my daughter, oh man, if it goes to penalties, someone's going to make that missing penalty. Someone's going to go home crying. Someone, But I didn't think about the race. I didn't think about anything. It was until I turned on my phone the next morning and I saw all your messages, your missed call. This guy, you're going to call me at 12:30. You're really concerned
just checking on a friend, boy. Just checking. I just thought, hi.
Is she okay?
I thought, hi. She's married to a white. Things are peak. And
you know, actually, but saying that,
I want a statistic saying that domestic abuse increases.
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah, literally on a serious note, guys. There was a lot of domestic violence charities had put it out there that actually when England lose, and not even just football, but when the English football team lose, there is a rise in domestic violence incidents. Yeah. You understand? So as much as Sheila is saying this in jest, unfortunately there are some female and males that maybe would have suffered physically, sexually, mentally because of that result.
Exactly.
You know, so
and somebody's gone home and somebody's possibly hit their wife 100%. Or abused their children or whatever, and we've got to look at this as a whole and as a country and as a human race, we have to do better. And this is why the petition is going around to say to ban racisms or racists from games moving forward, or it should be jobs, really.
Do you know what though, Shills? I said this, I don't know if we talked about this the last time. I've always said, because someone was saying about, we should have a register. See how we got like the sex offenders register? We should have a register. My only problem with that is,
I think I'll be on it 10 times over, but then I'll be offending every race.
I know you and one of my uncles. Goodness me. But no.
But remember, I'm not racist.
Oh, okay, whatever. You just
no. You know that. You know what I mean, though. I just make jokes about everybody.
No. And you can't be racist. Black people can't be racist. People want to fight me on that. Fight me on it. Yeah. Take it to the comments. We'll go word for word. Yeah. But my issue with the register, because I feel so strongly. Yeah, the issue with the register is, I want to know. I want to actively. I don't want people to drive their racism underground. If you have a register, I just think, will the racism try and get us in different ways that maybe we won't see. I love it that they feel free, that they can be commenting and sharing videos, and then they just come out and then we just put them on blast and make them lose their jobs. I love it. But
so the internet's done some good for fighting racism.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think this time round it's just gone too far. I mean, I'm glad to say that, the people that I call friends have shown that they stand against this racism. Yeah. And it's just like, come on, this is so wrong to ridicule somebody because of their skin colour, given the fact that they've carried the game this far.
They were okay. And they were your man of the match the previous match, literally a couple of days ago.
That's what was so confusing to me, But this is what I'm saying to you, One day they love you, the next day they don't. It's got to be like that sometimes, And this is how it is. It's the lessons of life. You can do the best for somebody, but you know what? The one day you do wrong, they forget the rest that you've done.
They forget all the goodness that you've done.
So at the end of the day, just be careful when you're performing for someone. You do step out of line once, they forget all the goodness that you've done. This is not just about football. It's not about race. It's in relationships. It's at work. You can work your little bloody arse off. and then your manager's praising you one day, the next week you just miss something, you're the worst worker ever.
Barrage, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't even see her in the cotton field this week. Yeah, it was just in your office. Yeah, but it's just one of those things. I'm such a believer in not even believing the hype. Yeah, of what people give you, that lip service. Yeah, I'm okay when I'm scoring for you. But the moment I fail or fall short, why can't you hold me up? Why can't you uplift me? And this is what's led that other boy to say, I'm just going to play for Ghana.
I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't want it. It might be less money, but I've got my pride. Yeah, I've got my support.
Yeah. Because you can abuse players. Like even Marcus, he said, like his penalty was rubbish. He said it. His penalty hit the post. It wasn't saved. It hit the post. He can accept that. You can judge me on my performance, but what the hell does my skin colour have to do with that?
Yeah.
If you had said, okay, that was a rubbish penalty, like England have lost in penalties before. Chelsea, John Terry, a final, Champions League final, he slipped. Yeah. He got abused. It's fine. But there weren't no issues about him being an Englishman, a white man, or whatever. Terry's he's not a nice person anyway. He sleeps with people's partners, his teammates' partners. He does that. He's not a nice person. But he wasn't abused because of the skin of his colour. He was abused because he took a rubbish penalty. Well, he slipped, but he missed, and his team went out. Yeah. Why couldn't the black players be afforded the same sort of abuse? Nobody would be moaning. Nobody would be moaning.
No, it was the things I read were terrible. Things I read were terrible. It's just like the three black monkeys at the end, they made us lose. The end, made it. I just thought to myself, this is all in this country. And some of this crap.
Sorry. This is all in this country. But remember, what was that report a couple of months ago that England isn't racist?
Oh yes.
Boris Johnson, there was a.
Yes, we should bring that out. Yeah, the report that came out. England isn't racist.
He did a review. Yeah.
This is so mad. You know what? Even P. Diddy sent the boys a shout out.
I saw. I just Three Kings, we stand with you. Yeah.
I just thought to myself, oh wow, yeah. Like it's really, 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 really happening.
I think I really liked what you said about not placing your self-worth on the views of others.
Yeah.
Because you give them that power, then you're giving them, if you allow them to give it to you, then you allow them to take it away.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like that.
It's just, people think like, oh, you walk around with a big ego or you're arrogant or whatever, but it's not. Yeah. If I let you make me, that simply means I'm letting you break me.
The power to destroy me. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is why, even when I'm like around people, when I'm working with people, motivating people, I'm always saying, listen, it's for yourself. Yeah. I'm just somebody on your journey. Yeah. Because I don't want anyone to ever feel that they're in debt of me or that my opinion of them matters so much. No. Yeah. That's the wrong way to live your life, because what if I start to doubt you?
And then what? You start doubting yourself.
You just start doubting yourself. What if that husband or that guy or that person or that girl now looks at you differently? Are you looking at yourself differently? Your self-worth cannot be held in somebody else's eyes, because you know what, they might never see your worth.
Your worth.
And if that person you're hoping sees your worth never sees your... come on.
Right package, wrong delivery.
That's what I'm saying to you, So when these boys are out there struggling and things are going through their minds, I hope it's not their mental health. And I don't think their mental health has been damaged because of what these people have said. The small minority that have ruined it for the rest. Because I'm sure they can see that, you know what,
there's been so much love.
There's been so much love they are cherished. And this is what they say, you overcome hate with love. Where you see hate, spread love. Because love covers a multitude of sins,
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. When people hear that, like, oh, you're being spiritual. No, the fact of the matter is, where you find hate, you just replace it with love. And hate will have no place, because you know what? Darkness can't overtake light. It's impossible.
Where does life?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's impossible. So it's one of those things where I hope the England team are hearing this. I hope them boys are hearing it or can hear it and know that, you know what, guys, you did well. Yeah. And anybody who's been offended by because obviously some people have gone 10 steps back. They're like, look, listen, I thought this England was getting better, but it's clearly not. It seems that every time we overcome something else happens. We have Black Lives Matter, that moved along, people were getting on better. Then Harry and Meghan decided to let us know that the royal family was racist as well. Yeah. And then
don't blame my babes.
We were back to square one, yeah, where it was like Archie's life matters, yeah. Now we'll get over Archie's life not mattering or mattering, and then boom, yeah, we're right back to now saying 3 monkeys on the shirts. It's wrong, yeah. We keep being taken backwards, and now black people are back to saying no matter how much we do, we're still not going to be looked at as good enough.
But I say take heart. I think as a black woman, like I said, as much as, you know, I want to see more from the government, I'm liking the way that actually black people are taking things into their own hands. Like I said, by bombarding these people, by making these people lose their jobs, I'm here for it. I love it. Make them get rid of their jobs. Make them have to sign on. Make them have to think twice. I love it. Actions speak louder than words. Those that don't hear, they must feel. I love that we're doing stuff. In America, did you see about that man that was arguing with his neighbour? And then I don't even know what the guy did, but the white man was, and then the people, he was like, yeah, I don't care. Here's my address. Meet me here. The people then went there. They were like, yeah, they were playing songs out of his house, and the police had to escort him out of his house. Good. I'm happy. Black people are taking action. Yeah, good. For his own safety, he had to come out of the house because they were there. They had a street party outside his house.
I'm sure the listeners can hear that this is Michelle's favourite subject. She's got so much passion.
Do you know what it is? Funny, like I said, I didn't want to talk shows. I said to you, I'm pulling your leg. My heart was heavy. Like literally, seriously, I'm tired of talking about it. I know that we can't stop, but each time it's just, I don't want to say we're going backwards because I do think we're making progress. I promise you, if this was like a year ago, 2-3 years ago, that newspaper would have been joining in. They would have had some dodgy comment to say. They were the ones that were blasting the guy because he bought a house with his money.
I just think, they're only just saying, so a lot of these papers are only just saying it just to go over the trend, because I'm going to stand by what I said. Nobody wants to see a repeat of last year. There are people out there that are genuinely not racist, but there are people out there that are, just like there's black people that are racist. There's white. Well, you said to me, I stand corrected, that black people can't be racist.
Because
there
of
are
the power
black people
dynamic.
there are black people that dislike white people because
unfairly.
of what they've been through.
They have black people have prejudice, against white people, which is unfair and wrong.
And there are Asians that do, and there are different nationalities or whatever. Because even within races, there is racism.
There's prejudices, there's different levels.
Because it's we talk about being colourists, we talk about people preferring a fairer skin.
They discriminate
like
against certain types.
Like in the Asian community, the lighter that you are, the more desirable that you're meant to be, supposedly.
Did I tell you about the woman that abused me in Brixton because she said I was bleaching, and I'm like one of the darkest people I know. So I'm sure she had mental health.
What bleach were you using? Tarmac.
This girl, this woman, I'm in some Caribbean restaurant ordering my lunch. She was like, sister, you don't need to do it, man. Look at your knuckles. I'm there looking at my knuckles. I was like, what's the matter with my knuckles? What have I done? You don't need to do it.
She was Jamaican, innit?
I think she was African, but I think she had mental health, like literally, because she wanted to touch my face, and I was like, back up.
Nah, man, that's witchcraft.
This was pre-corona, but I was like, back up, like,
no,
do it, my sister. You don't need to do it. And I was like, God, got me looking at my knuckles now, and not everyone wants to see my knuckles. I might put a picture up of my knuckles, say, guys, do these look like they've been bleached? They haven't, just uneven skin tone.
No, Michelle's knuckles. Could she be a knuckle buster? I don't know. Yeah.
No, I can't.
Whatever you're doing at home, Michelle. I know you're trying to like the kids, but please,
Blend in.
hold it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be easy with it. You're already there.
I got this.
I just don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'm just disappointed that it. But you know what? Yeah. Like for me, literally, it's kind of like I'm happy it happened because it highlighted that, you know what, we still have a problem and we still have a long way to go. But on the flip side, it also highlighted that there is a lot of people in the country that are woke.
Yeah, they're allies.
And you don't have to be black or white to know that wrong is wrong and right is right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that for me was a saving grace because, like I said to you before, maybe when we were playing Denmark, was it? I was feeling uneasy. I was like, nah, I don't want to really watch these games with, sitting in the pub or sitting in whatever, because of what the newspapers had done. They had already started to make it a bit of a race issue, subliminally, yeah? And then, because it was causing a bit of a row or a bit of a stir to see that, the black players were not being represented fully to what they were doing.
The newspapers, they weren't being recognised. They
weren't being recognised, and I just thought to myself, well, that's out of order. But I was more than happy to either watch the game at home alone or with my family, and not even get involved in the politics that was being promoted on the outskirts, So I'm happy. I'm not happy that England lost. I'm proud of the game they played, but I'm happy for the unity that it's also caused, because it's shown light on those who are still, backwards in their thinking. Like, their thoughts are actually redundant. If you are a racist in this century, at this point of time in life, you are redundant in your
thought
process.
For you. That's what we say in my country.
What do they say?
Country. Now for you. Like, wow. Okay, what do we do now?
What do we do? So for me, you're redundant, you just don't matter to me. It's just like, you want to be racist when literally the whole world is now a rainbow. If you know, you know.
Skittles, find your rainbow.
It's not like the colours of Benetton, we're all rainbows, So it's one of those things where, get over it. Black, white, Chinese, yellow, green. Do you know what? Everybody is able to be part of the nation, and I'm sorry to everyone that felt a type of way. It didn't come home; it went to Rome. Like I said at the beginning, some of us got told to go home, but you know what?
God.
My home is London.
My
home is London. So I don't know where you're sending me.
Send me back to Guy's Hospital, mate. That's where I was born. So was my mum. So was my mum's born in Tooting. Like, where do you want us to go?
Tooting. So there you go, If you know, you know. She'll say something to the people, man.
I was going to say, just as a parent point of view. A parent point of view. One of the things I did, so one of the mums, she called me up and she was like, that she wondered, her daughter's in a year below mine. She was like, do you know if the school are doing anything about what's going on? Because in our school...
What, football?
About the racism. So in Liv School, they play News Round, which is basically a news programme for children. So obviously it's dominated the news. So literally, I think it was like Thursday night, I was like, Liv's like, has your school said anything? Like, what's been said? She was like, News Round has been on, but we haven't really had no conversations. Bruv, I called that school. I was like, listen, excuse me, what's going on? Because it's not something that should be brushed under the carpet. You've got black children in your school. Like, what are you doing to let them know that actually you're thinking of them, you're holding them, and what are you doing for any white kids that might have questions? Not necessarily that they're racist undertones, but they want to know, actually, okay, why is it wrong? Like, what's going on? What's happened? How can we support? How can we do better? But luckily, they were like, don't worry. It was in today's assembly. We had a whole assembly on it. This is the discussions we had. This is the outcomes. And this is the after support they were putting on. So parents, if you've got children who are school age that you're worried about, how this may be affecting them, it's okay to have these discussions. You can never be too young to start teaching your children that actually the world is a little bit unfair. But you show them this is what is being done about it. This is what your allies are doing. You show them the people that have gone up to Marcus Rashford's memorial, and you say, look, these are the kind people. For as many bad eggs you get, there's like 10,000 good ones. You know, so you remind them of the kindness of humanity. But do ask the questions of your schools. Don't let it be brushed under the carpet. You know, just take it to them, basically. Hold them account.
Yeah, hold them account. I think, you know, you're going to see a lot more changes around because of this. The petition that's been signed, I think it's hit 1 million signatures.
Yeah, over 1 million.
And so that's really, really positive. You know, people, and football is a game that's meant to unite. That's the honest truth. Yeah, sport is meant to unite. But if we lose the essence of something that brings joy, and we damage people, it's no fun. Yeah, you're damaging people, you know. So it's just, let's think about our actions. And even like, you know, black people, you notice I haven't even used the word, I've been so serious this one, I haven't even used the word coloured, yeah. But it's like, even like black people, don't look at, you know, white people as the enemy, because it's just a bunch of people, it's a small minority of people that have caused this issue. You know,
and look at the way they're being dealt with.
It's a small minority of people in a big pool of people that have brought shame. But you know, it doesn't mean white people are bad. Or every white person is a racist. Because like I said, I've got some that I stand by, and I'm just like, you know what? No, that's not what I felt from my end. And I'm not going to let this take my whole view of another race, because that's what it causes. It causes division, it causes separation, and then and when it causes setback in the movement. Yes, I acknowledge there's still work to do, and a lot of work. But let's not let this undo the good work that has already started. And if you guys want to talk about it, we're always available to talk. If it impacted your mental health, we're here to listen to you guys and just give you some insight on how to deal with it. Again, a lot of things have been said, but you can see there's been a lot of public support, and a lot of people are against this. So you're standing in the right space, I guess. So I don't think last year's Black Lives Matter movement was in vain.
No, definitely not.
If this has happened and people are speaking up louder than they did before, it means that whatever happened last year has impacted and has made change.
Yeah, definitely.
So guys, as Martin Luther King said, I have a dream that one day, you know the rest.
If not, you'll see it in our blog.
If you don't know the rest, you'll see it in our blog. Oh, if you want to be Rosa Parks and you want to go and sit on the football game field, feel free to go sit on the football pitch.
We won't join you, but we'll be there in spirit.
We'll be there in spirit, because you know what? We are with you. We're one nation. I didn't say we are the nation. We are one nation.
Right.
I have a dream that this weekend the sun's gonna shine. Michelle, let's let the people enjoy their Saturday.
Right, take care, guys.
And hopefully we're able to bring a little bit of lightness to the situation. In Coffee Morning Laughter. So look after yourselves. Look after your mental health.
Yep. Take care. Bye.
So you buy me a drink?
No.
Right. Get her own. Send her own.